Hello and welcome. And if you are the first time here, subscribe to the channel by clicking the subscribe button to see the latest technology videos. In this video, we are discussing about Java, constructors in Java. So, in Java, a constructor is a block of codes similar to the method. It is called when an instance of the class is created. So at the time of calling constructor, memory for the object is allocated in the memory. It is a special type of method which is used to initialize the object. Every time an object is created using the new keyword, at least one constructor is called. So, it calls a default constructor if there is no constructor available in the class. And in such case, Java compiler provides a default constructor by default. So, there are two types of constructors in Java: no arg constructor and parameterized constructor. It is called constructor because it constructs the values at the time of object creation. It is not necessary to write a constructor for a class. It is because Java compiler creates a default constructor if your class doesn't have any. Rules for creating Java constructor. So, there are two rules defined for the constructor. First, constructor name must be the same as its class name. Second, a constructor must have no explicit return type. A Java constructor cannot be abstract, static, final, and synchronized. We can use access modifiers while declaring a constructor. It controls the object creation, and in other words, we can have private, protected, public, or default constructor in Java. So, types of Java constructors. So, there are two types of constructors in Java. First, default constructor, no arg constructor. Then, parameterized constructor. Java default constructor. So, a constructor is called default constructor when it doesn't have any parameter. Syntax of default constructor: class name. Example of default constructor. In this example, we are creating the no arg constructor in the my class, and it will be invoked at the time of object creation. Java program to create and call a default constructor. Class bike1, creating a default constructor. Bike1 system.out.println bike is created. Main method: public static void main string args, calling a default constructor bike1 b equal to new bike1. Output bike is created. If there is no constructor in a class, compiler automatically creates a default constructor. Class bike, compiler, class bike, then bike function. So, what is the purpose of a default constructor? The default constructor is used to provide the default values to the object like 0, null, etc. depending on the type. So example of default constructor that displays the default values. So let us see another example of default constructor which displays the default values. Class student3, int id, string name. Method to display the value of id and name. Void display system.out.println id plus apostrophe plus name, closing bracket, semicolon and brace. Then public static void main string args, creating objects student3 s1 equal to new student3, student3 s2 equal to new student3, displaying values of the object s1 dot display and s2 dot display, and closing brace. Then output is 0 null and again 0 null. So in the above class you are not creating any constructor, so compiler provides you a default constructor. Here 0 and null values are provided by default constructor. Then Java parameterized constructor. So a constructor which has a specific number of parameters is called a parameterized constructor. So why use the parameterized constructor? The parameterized constructor is used to provide different values to distinct objects. However, you can provide the same values also. Example of parameterized constructor. In this example, we have created the constructor of student class that have two parameters, and we can have any number of parameters in the constructor. Java program to demonstrate the use of the parameterized constructor. Class student4 int id string name, creating a parameterized constructor student4 int I string n, id equal to I, name equal to n. Then method to display the values, void display system.out.println id plus apostrophe plus name, closing bracket, semicolon, brace. Public static void main string args, creating objects and passing values. Student4 s1 equal to new student4 111 current, student4 s2 equal to new student4 222 comma array. Calling method to display the values of the object s1 dot display and s2 dot display, and closing brace. So output is 111 current and 222 array. Then constructor overloading in Java. So in Java, a constructor is just like a method but without a return type. It can also be overloaded like Java methods. Constructor overloading in Java is a technique of having more than one constructor with a different parameter list, and they are arranged in a way that each constructor performs a different task, and they are differentiated by the compiler by the number of parameters in the list and their types. So example of constructor overloading. Java program to overload constructors. Classes student5 int id string name int age, creating two arg constructor studentify int I string n, id equal to I, name equal to n, creating 3 arg constructor. Studentify int I string n int a, id equal to I, name equal to n, age equal to a. Void display system.out.println id plus name plus age. Public static void main string args. Studentify s1 equal to new studentify 111 comma current. Studentify s2 equal to new studentify 222 comma aryan comma 25. s1 dot display s2 dot display. So the output is 111 current 0 and 222 aryan 25. So this was a brief discussion on Java constructor, and we'll be discussing more on Java in the upcoming videos. And if you are the first time here, subscribe to the channel by clicking the subscribe button to see the latest technology videos. Thank you for watching this video. Bye for now.